Hey,
Take it
everybody.
away, Rick.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Good afternoon or good evening to whoever's out there. Thank you for attending our show today. My name is Rick Curti. I'm the host of Charlotte Bats Baseball Podcast and more with Breck Smith here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know the very unusual times that we're living through right now, being isolated, where I'm isolated here in North Carolina, just like everybody else. Bars, restaurants are closed. We have delivery. Now we had to be in a room with 50 people here in North Carolina instead of 100, all because people just don't want to listen and pay attention. So it's just unfortunate people just continue to go beaches or go spring break, and they just don't realize that they can carry this and spread it around. So guys out there, please listen. Please listen, wash your hands, be safe, be careful. Look what's all going around. I mean, they cancel sports. NBA season's canceled. MLB season looks like it might be canceled. XFL season was canceled, so it's been crazy. But speaking of the XFL, there's been some exciting news going on with some of the XFL players. People have been wanting to see what players are going to go to the NFL. Well, today, Houston Roughnecks star quarterback PJ Walker signed with the Carolina Panthers. All right, so I'm excited. I might actually root for the Panthers again. I love what they're doing. I love this new owner. Everybody, all the Panther fans hate him, which is great because they just like they missed good old Ron Rivera, he was a great coach, but he's not Don Shula. So I love Matt Rule. I think he's going to do great. We got PJ Walker now. They just traded Kyle Allen to the Redskins for a fifth-round pick, I believe. It just happened just a couple hours ago. But he was the first XFL star to sign. I believe there'll be many, many more. And I was really happy to see PJ Walker sign with the Cardinals. I mean, with the Panthers. Matt Rule was his coach when they both were at Temple. So that makes a lot of sense. And so we'll see what happens. Bridgewater will be the starting quarterback. 3 years, $70 million or $80 million, I believe he signed for. So I'm happy to see Teddy get a lot of money and get an opportunity to be the starter. Great quarterback. Massive upgrade to Cam Newton, who's just been injured, inconsistent, and they're moving on without him. Good call. He's going to be a free agent next season. So we already know he's going to sign back with the Panthers. So it's just going to be an interesting time. And I love what the Panthers are doing. And so we'll see what happens. It just takes time. But I thought that was a great acquisition, getting PJ Walker. So we'll see what he does. And for those people out there who are XFL fans, the season did not get the league did not fold, as rumors had said they are. This is all because of the coronavirus going on. They had to suspend the league, just like the NBA, just like the NHL, just like MLB potentially. It's just a bad situation, unfortunately, but the league will be back in February 2021, and there's been rumors that they're going to add two more teams. So instead of 8, there's going to be 10. And maybe in a couple of years after that, possibly 12, but it's just rumors. No idea what's going to happen. Love to see a team in Charlotte, but we'll see what happens. So stay tuned with the XFL. I've heard there's going to be some shakeups and some exciting things going on with that league starting in 2021. So, of course, the big news, Tom Brady. He signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Honestly, I didn't see it happening. I thought for sure he was going to stay with the Patriots, but Patriots just did not want to pay the man. And apparently, Belichick really wanted to move on from Tom Brady many years ago. Apparently, Belichick wanted to get rid of Tom Brady and replace him with Jimmy Garoppolo. And he was overruled by Bob Kraft. Bob Kraft said, no, we're going to stay with Tom. And so that's interesting that Belichick really wanted to move on with Brady. He wanted to develop a young quarterback and saw that Tom was getting old and it was time to move on. And apparently, I guess their relationship wasn't as solid as most people thought it was, or you know, I thought it was pretty good, but apparently it wasn't. So um, we'll see what happens. It's going to be weird seeing him as a Buccaneer. They already had these pictures of him on Facebook, what it looks like, and it just looks weird. It doesn't even look right. So it's going to be interesting. It's just like when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos. That was odd. I remember Emmitt Smith as an Arizona Cardinals last couple of years. Usually it doesn't. They never stay with the team. It'd be nice to see the same players stay with the same team. Of course, Kobe stayed with the Lakers. Derek Jeter as a Yankee. So I mean, it does happen, but very, very rarely does it happen. Usually they end up with other teams. I mean, Joe Montana was a Chief. Jerry Rice in his career with the Seahawks. Before that, he was a Raider. Emmitt Smith as a Cardinal, which was bizarre, still bizarre to me. Joe Namath actually ended his career with the Los Angeles Rams. Johnny Unitas, Mr. Colt, Mr. Baltimore Colt, actually ended his career with the San Diego Chargers. So I still we'll see what happens. Nashville signed Tannehill, so that canceled that. The Raiders signed Mariota, that canceled that. He'll compete with Derek Carr. Of course, the Panthers got Teddy Bridgewater, now PJ Walker. Not that Tom was going to go there. Everyone kept saying the Chargers were going to go there, all because Brady's from California, and I'm just like, who cares? It doesn't matter if he's from Pluto. I mean, it's all about. He's been taking pay cuts for many, many, many years, and it was time that he's like, nope, I'm going to get paid what I deserve. And the Patriots weren't getting any better. They're the oldest team in the NFL. His weapons were depleting. Josh Gordon is gone, probably gone forever. We all know about Antonio Brown. He's gone. Gronk's gone. He has no weapons. And so he said, I'm not going to end up my career not getting all my money, even though he's a billionaire probably right now. Good for him. Hey, they ain't paying him. The Buccaneers want to pay him. He's 43 years old. He said he wanted to end his career at 45 years old. And maybe he'll win another Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't think he will. I don't see him winning a Super Bowl. I don't think the Buccaneers are improved dramatically with Tom Brady, because you got to remember he's 43 years old. His numbers have been on the decline the last couple of years. You know why? He's 43 years old. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing he can do what he do. I'm Tom Brady's age, and I can't do the things I can do now. I mean, your back hurts, you're stiff now, and he's competing. He's playing against like 21, 22-year-old people. It is amazing what he's done. Amazing he can still play, to look that good. To still throw for 25 touchdowns, 4,000 yards at 43 years old. People say, well, he's not the same anymore. Of course he's not, because he's 43 years old. Regardless what happens, regardless of how bad he is or how good he is with Tampa Bay, he's going to the Hall of Fame. Nobody's going to remember Tom Brady as a Buccaneer. It's just going to be one of those, wow, isn't that weird to see Tom Brady in his career somewhere else? Just like nobody thought Peyton Manning would end his career, would end up with another team. We always thought he'd be a Colt for the rest of his life. But sports is a business. It's a business, and they see like, hey, if Jared Goff gets all this money, or Wentz gets all that money, they haven't won anything. Look at me, I won like 6 Super Bowls. I deserve all that money. So good for him. I'm gonna root for him. I love Bruce Arians. I'm a huge Bruce Arians fan, so I think him and Brady will totally get along. And now we're going to find out why the Patriots were successful. Was it because of Bill Belichick, or was it Tom Brady? I think it's just a combination. I think without each other, they wouldn't have won. It's just like the 49ers with Bill Walsh and Joe Montana. Who was better, Joe Walsh or Joe Montana? Who led the team? Well, it was a combination. If it wasn't for Joe Montana, Bill Walsh wouldn't have been successful, and vice versa. It's just the right time, right opportunity. Just like Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe never got hurt. We never would have heard of Tom Brady. And Drew Bledsoe is like the Wally Pipp of baseball. And if people of football, and if people don't know who Wally Pipp is, he was a Yankee first baseman, got hurt, and so his replacement came to take over for him. And that guy was name was Lou Gehrig, and that guy played at that time most consecutive games ever till Cal Ripken broke it. And Lou Gehrig was one of the greatest baseball players that ever lived. I believe he was better than Babe Ruth, which to some people is sacrilegious, but he was just a sensational baseball player, a great human being. And of course, unfortunately, he died very young of ALS, or at that time it was called Lou Gehrig's disease. So that's who Drew Bledsoe is. That's his legacy. That he was a guy who got knocked out, and someone named Tom Brady, who nobody ever heard of, came in, and the rest is history. So it's just amazing how things work out, the right time, right opportunity. So, like I said, we'll see what Tom does. We'll see how good Tampa Bay will be. I think they'll improve. It's a winnable division. The Panthers are rebuilding. So Saints, we'll see. I mean, that's probably the best team out there. Atlanta's just, so inconsistent, like the Panthers. You don't know what you're going to get out of Matt Ryan. So it's an easy division to win. The Patriots division got harder. Bills have improved. Dolphins look better. They might get Tua. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what Tom has left in the tank. And I'll be great if he wins the Super Bowl, to be quite honest. He can shut up everybody. Because people still want to believe, well, he was just a manager, a quarterback manager. He's a game manager. Well, great game manager I've ever seen. So we'll see what happens. But I'm rooting for Tom, and we'll see. And mostly rooting for Bruce Arians. I'm a huge Bruce Arians fan, and love to see him win it all. And good for Tampa Bay for taking a chance. Well, and famous Jameis, I don't know where he's going to go. The market doesn't look good for him. I don't think a lot of people are interested in him because of his shenanigans that he does. The off the field questionable stuff that he's done. I mean, usually a quarterback that throws for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, you're going to get teams to look at you. Nobody's looking at him because, oh yeah, he had 30 interceptions as well. And now apparently he got laser eye surgery. So I guess his eyesight wasn't as good, but it was okay in college and it was okay before. So we'll see what happens with him. I keep hearing he might go to the Steelers and just be a backup. And then when Roethlisberger's going to retire, and I think this is it for Big Ben. I think this is one more year and he's done. Apparently he might take over. Not a bad gig. Why not? Just, I don't think he'll be a starter anytime. I don't see Chargers going after him. I don't see, think Chargers are going to get that quarterback out of Oregon. I just don't know if there's a market for Jameis. I just don't. He's going to have to be a backup somewhere for maybe a season or two, just like Mariota. I thought Mariota would have been a perfect fit for the Patriots. I mean, that would have been a great, smart move for them. He's cheap. He's young. You hear no problems with Mariota. You've heard no grumblings about him being a poor teammate. Tannehill just beat him out of his starting job, and he just was inconsistent. Hurt a lot. I think the Patriots would have been a great landing spot for Mariota, but he's now going to be with the Raider, and Carr got some competition now. So if Carr doesn't play good or whatever, they'll be surprised if Mariota's the starting quarterback for the, and it sounds weird, Las Vegas Raiders. Just like the Chargers, I would keep wanting to call them the I want to call them the San Diego Chargers all the time, and it's just weird calling them the Los Angeles Chargers. It doesn't even sound right, but it is what it is. So that's what's been going on. Like I said, very limited on sports. We know what's going on. The other big story is that the Summer Olympics are going to be in Tokyo, and they might cancel that too. Canada's already said we're not going to go. We're sorry, we're not going to go. We're not going to put our lives and our health at risk. Sorry, and I don't blame them. I think you'll see other countries come. It's up in the air if we're going to get Olympics. But if we do, you're not going to see a lot of countries. Canada will be one of many countries that will say, we're not going to go. Sorry, we are not going to go and risk our lives for this. Let's just postpone it, do it some other time. This is just unprecedented what's going on, but we need to be safe. So I don't know if we're going to have a Summer Olympics. The NFL's already announced that their draft is not going to be in Las Vegas. They're still going to have it, but no audience, of course. No location has been set for where they're going to have the draft. Probably going to live stream it on Facebook or somewhere. That's going to be interesting to see that. It's just going to be odd. It's just weird seeing a lot of events played in empty crowds. It just looks weird. Everything. I mean, whatever big gathering it is, no crowds. There's no audience there at all. So, and I know a lot of people are disappointed. I had a trip planned to Los Angeles. I should have been in Los Angeles already. I would be there right now. So, I don't know when I'll go back to visit. Hopefully soon, but I gotta wait till all this clears up. So, just been topsy turvy. I have friends who work in the restaurant business, waiters, host, and they're out of work. Bartenders out of work. And those are the ones I feel bad for. I'm lucky I still got my job. Other people got their jobs. There's a lot of people that don't, and it's just unfortunate that that's happening to them, especially in the bar industry or the restaurant industry. All those places are shut down, and it has to be. It just has to be shut down. No sports, no big concerts, no nothing. So I've been isolating myself away from people. I just been working and just coming home and just being safe. So, like I said, this is unprecedented times we're in. For those tuning in, I'm Rick Curti, your host of Charlotte Bats Baseball and More podcast. We're on every Monday, which is 6 o'clock my time and 3 o'clock West Coast time. With Breck Smith, our producer, we got of course, the great Mark Mancini at the Stables Network. Check them out. Check out all their podcasts. Phenomenal talent that we have on the roster. I'm very, very honored, very, very grateful to be part of this podcast, to be part of this group of talented individuals. Like I said, I'm just a guy that loves sports, a guy that wants to see Major League Baseball in the city. Something I've been petitioning for many, many years. You can check out our website at www.charlottebats.com. Sign our petition. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook. And we're also on Instagram at Charlotte Bats Baseball. So, like I said, very limited in sports right now, of course, with what's going on. Tom Brady's with the Buccaneers. PJ Walker signed with the Panthers. We'll see what happens with famous Jameis Winston. I don't see a market with him. He'll probably be a backup. That'd be kind of wild if he goes to the Patriots. That might be a good fit for him. He just would have to change a lot because they don't play around. I've heard rumors Cam Newton might go. There's another guy who has a big question mark where he may go. I think the thing with Cam, he's not a free agent. He's still under contract with the Panthers, and they're trying to trade him. I don't know where Cam's going to go. It's going to be hard for him. He's 30 years old. So when he hit the dreaded 30 in sport, that's kind of like the slow decline. I wish I was 30 again. That'd be great. But in sports, if you're 30, that's the slow decline where they start looking at other people. So we'll see what happens with Cam. Don't know what's gonna happen. He definitely will not be a Panther, maybe a Patriot, maybe a Charger. You know, maybe Miami. I don't know. It's gonna be. I don't know if he'll be a starter. To be quite honest, I just don't know if he will. Just too many question marks with Cam. His injury, how bad is his ankle injury? Is his shoulder okay? He's missed a lot of games the last 2 seasons. Is his heart in the game? Like I said, I've been one of Cam Newton's biggest critics. I've said for many years that the guy just wants to be a celebrity, and his heart is not into football. It's all about branding himself. And if I have any movie projects, I've been gotten blasted from Panther fans out here. But like I said, I just tell the truth. I tell it like it is. I tell it like I see it. I have no bias. I don't care what team you are. I don't care what team I will always say. I will always tell the truth. And that's what I've been saying about the Panthers and Cam Newton. They're just mediocre, and it was time to move on from him. It was time to move on from Ron Rivera. And now we got an owner that wants to spend money and shake things up. And I applaud Tepper for what he's doing. I totally support what he's doing. I love the Matt Rule. I love the Teddy Bridgewater. I love seeing PJ Walker. I already heard Panther fans say they're going to boycott the season. Boycott it. Just do whatever you want to do. I mean, we might not even have an NFL season. This thing keeps lingering on, so we don't know. So it'll be interesting time. So we'll see what happens. So it's just been crazy times. Like I said, I just been held up here in my little place, just kind of isolated myself, just watching movies, going on Facebook, and just seeing people yell and scream at each other and fighting. It's just been crazy. Just these are unprecedented times. So out there. So what else is going on in sports? Sports Tom, PJ. They're gonna NFL draft. He's gonna be moved out of Las Vegas. It's just been crazy, crazy times right now. Just really nothing to see on TV. Just all these updates have been going on. We've been hearing press conferences from our governor. I'm sure everyone else's governor about what's going on with the situation. And people, we just don't know. I think that's the scary part for people. We don't know. It's going to end tomorrow. It's going to end next week. It could stay for another year. It could be here for 10 years. It could be here for the next 10 minutes. We just don't know. But we do know that the NBA season's canceled, and I think the great story about what's going on with all this is see all the athletes who are paying for the people who work in the arenas. Mark Cuban did that. Zion Williamson, a great Pelican player. I've been critical of him too. I love what he's doing. I think it's great to see these players say, you know what, we're lucky. We are multimillionaires. We can miss a couple years. These people can't. A lot of them live paycheck to paycheck. All these concession stand people, all the people who work, giving out programs, ticket agents, all that, they're out of work. And we don't know when we're going to come back. And I think it's awesome to see them paying for their salaries. These are unprecedented times. These are difficult times. And these people are rich. They're very rich. They're millionaires, billionaires. And I just think it's great to see them do that. Because we always forget about them. We always forget about the people. Everybody, when you talk about sports, oh, those guys are multimillionaires. They can miss a paycheck or two. But nobody ever thinks about the people who work in the concession stands. Nobody thinks about the people giving out programs. Nobody thinks about people working in the office. Nobody thinks about the staff. Nobody thinks about any of those people. They just think about all those multimillionaire athletes, all those multimillionaire head coaches, owners. they're good. We don't have to worry about them. But nobody ever thinks about the other people who are pretty much living paycheck to paycheck, or just, not rich, not poor, just in the middle. But if they miss a couple paychecks, it's going to be hard for them. And I've been there. It's not fun. So it's nice to see people, nice to see these athletes step up and say, we're going to take care of our own. And I think that's the thing that I'll remember most during this crisis. So it's just been, like I said, interesting times. So, like I said, we'll see what happens with baseball. Of course, the Astros. I'm sure they're glad there's no baseball right now. What's going on with them? Of course, the cheating Astros, or as I like to compare them to the 1919 Black Sox scandal. I get people always telling me, "Let it go, let it go," but this is just as bad as it is. It just gets worse and worse and worse. But like I said, they're cheaters. I've been very vocal about what should happen to them. They should have the same fate as the Louisville Cardinals when Rick Pitino started all his shenanigans with him potentially paying student athletes. What happened to Louisville? They had to vacate their wins, they had to vacate their championship, and they told them take that banner down. Same thing should happen to the Astros. Should be no World Series champion. Take down your banner. Give us back our rings. We have no winner. It's vacant, just like the 1994 World Series. No, there was no winner. The defending champions were the Blue Jays. Um, that is what it is. I'm not saying to make the Dodgers the champions. I'm not saying just make it vacant. Make it vacant, because we don't know if the Dodgers would have won, because they've had some issues showing up at big games, especially with Kershaw and his issues. So I've been very vocal about it, and it's just shameful that Commissioner Manfred didn't do anything about it. Just the thought of him saying shame was their punishment. It's mind-boggling to me. They should have been suspended for at least a season. And we'll see what happens with the Astros. But right now, that's the last thing people want to worry about. Right now, people want to be safe from what's going on right now. People want to get back to work. I'm one of the lucky ones that can go to work, but others can't. So a lot of people who are small business owners are suffering. Everybody's suffering from all this. So we'll see what happens when our sports come back, when everything comes back, because we will get through this. It's not a matter if or maybe. I hope so. We will get through this. We're way too strong. We've been through a lot in our country. This is worldwide what's going on. So we will get through this. It's scary. It's terrifying. I think the unknown makes it scarier. But as I've been saying from the beginning, we will get through this. Do not panic. Please stop going to grocery stores and buying stuff for yourself and hoarding everything. Please stop buying toilet paper and acting stupid. But at the same time, take it seriously. Not a hoax. Wash your hands. Be safe. Stay away from people. And it's hard for me because I love being around people. I love meeting new people. It's fun meeting new people. Staying at home and watching movies. After a while, it sucks. But like I said, just got to listen and just be safe. And that's all you can do. So I'm Rick Curti, the host of Charlotte Bats Podcast and more. Our show is every Monday, 6 o'clock at the East Coast time and 3 o'clock West Coast time. Here with Breck Smith, our terrific producer, part of the Stables Network with Mark Mancini. I'm here every single Monday, and we're here to talk about all sports and nothing but sports. I pull no punches. I show no favoritism. I don't care what team you are. I don't care if we're best buddies or whatever. I will always be saying something about your team. It can be good. It can be bad. Just remember, it's just the truth. So, like I said, we're very limited on sports right now with what's going on. I guess the biggest news would be Tom Brady going as a Buccaneer. And I've been talking about other athletes who finished their careers with other teams. Joe Namath as a Ram, Johnny Unitas as a Colt, as a Charger. Of course, recently Peyton Manning with the Broncos. Now it's going to be Tom Brady as a Buccaneer. That's going to be wild seeing him like that. Remember Drew Brees and started out with the Chargers and wasn't the Drew Brees we all know. It's kind of hard to picture Drew Brees being benched, being inconsistent, and a team not wanting him because we've seen him how terrific he's been with the Saints. But when he was at the Chargers, I remember that he was not the Drew Brees we all know, being benched and everything. And then eventually they moved on without him, got Phillip Rivers, and the rest is history. Drew Brees as a Saint, and look at him, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. He'll be 41 years old. Is he 41 years old right now? So I think he signed a 2-year deal. So he's probably going to finish up. He'll finish up his career with the Saints. Like I said, it's very difficult to see players stay with one team. Just doesn't happen, especially in today's era, where it's not just the players leave because they want more money or just are tired of being there or want an opportunity, but the coaches, the teams don't want them anymore. As I said, Belichick was ready to move on from Brady many years ago. He wanted Garoppolo. He did not want to trade Garoppolo. He was upset that Garoppolo got traded to the 49ers. I can see why now. Look at how good the 49ers are since they've gotten him. And he's a young kid, he's a good-looking kid, great arm, great attitude. And he's done a terrific job with the 49ers. Now the question will be, who will be the Patriots' new quarterback? Are they going to go after Andy Dalton? I don't think so. Are they going to go after a Cam Newton? They have looked at his medical records. That's a possibility. They're kicking the tires with Cam. Who knows? Who knows? I think they're going to stay with Stidham, the Auburn quarterback. I think it was in the 4th round they drafted. Apparently they like him a lot. They saw a lot of good things from him from practice. I think they'll stick with him. I don't think they'll go after anybody. I don't see them trading up to get somebody. I don't think they're interested in any of the quarterbacks right now. We'll see. Maybe Jalen Hurts will go there. Jalen Hurts' name, a lot of people are saying he's going to be a wide receiver. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be I think he may be a great quarterback in the NFL if he's given the opportunity, but I think they're going to try to convert him into a wide receiver, something like that. I don't know. But that's something I would look out for is Jalen Hurts. And Patriots, maybe, falls to their lap and he's inexpensive. Why not? Why not get him? What's it going to hurt you? What's going to hurt? We all know that there's never going to be that Tom Brady again. We already know that, that's not going to happen. So it looks like it might be the end of an era for the Patriots. We're going to see Bill Belichick get tested. Is he the Bill Belichick that won all the Super Bowls, or is he going to be the Bill Belichick of the Browns? Because he was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns many years ago, and his coordinator was Nick Saban. How funny things are now. You got two of the greatest coaches in the pro sports and in college who are on the same team with the Browns. So we'll see. Like I said, Bill Belichick went 11-5 with Matt Castle when Brady was out for the year with his knee injury. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. But I think they're going to get with Stidham, give him an opportunity. And like I said, they like to get players for the cheap. They like to get players who nobody looks at, who they've given up on. Wes Welker, he was with the Dolphins. They get him, one of the best wide receivers of that time. Woodhead, great with the Patriots. He's moved on. He's been injured. Hasn't been the same. You have Danny Amendola, who's already a good player. Just Julian Edelman. Nobody heard of Julian Edelman. Look at how great he was. And of course, we can't forget Gronk. Who can forget Gronk? Now he's into wrestling, Gronk. He was with the WWE recently. So I guess we're going to see Gronk in the ring now in wrestling. Why not? and he wasn't very highly touted out of college. And look what they did with him. I mean, this gargantuan tight end. Never seen a tight end that's 6'7" and be that agile. So if there's something the Patriots can do, they're good at saving money, getting players no one ever thought about doing. So maybe Stidham will be that quarterback that will be this great quarterback for them. Maybe he won't be. We don't know. But it's going to be very, very hard to replace Tom Brady, even though he's 42 years old. And of course, not in his prime anymore. He's still a great player. I'll take a 42-year-old guy any time of the day that has Tom Brady's pedigree. He wants to win. He should be like mailing it in right now. Like, I'll just play a couple more years, get my money, I'm good. No, he wants to win. He don't care. He just wants to win. And to have that fire after all this success is just truly amazing. So it'll be a very, very interesting year. It'll be a very interesting season. And we'll see what happens with the Buccaneers. It's going to be wild, but like I said, we just got to get past this, because if we don't get past this, there will be no NFL at all. But I think we'll be fine. Like I said, we just got to get through this, and you got to listen. So, of course, the NBA season's no NBA. I've been very critical of the NBA. As I said, I haven't watched an NBA game probably like in 10 years, I can tell you. I used to love watching the NBA. I love watching Barkley, Clyde Drexler, Michael Jordan. My favorite was Dominique Wilkins. Slam dunk contest in my time was fantastic. You had Jordan, you had Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler, Spud Webb, all 5'7" Spud Webb. He was an amazing athlete, short, and that guy could dunk. He was a great player. Spud Webb. Now it's all scoring. There's no defense at all. The slam dunk contest is a complete joke. I'm just tired of seeing them slam dunking over people, or slam dunking over cars, or doing cartwheels, or doing these blindfolds. Like, it's stupid. Get rid of the slam dunk contest, NBA. It sucks. Just get rid of it. If LeBron don't want to do it, if Anthony Davis don't want to do it, the big stars don't want to do it, that tells you what they think of the slam dunk contest. It sucks, and it sucks for years. And Adam Silver's done a sensational job as a commissioner, probably one of the most well-liked, most respected commissioners in all of sports. I mean, he's not competing with a lot of people. I mean, Goodell, please. Manfred, please. Gary Bettman, Adam Silver's probably the most respected, most well-liked commissioner in all sports right now. Get rid of the slam dunk contest. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that Anthony Gordon got robbed. Only Anthony Gordon cares. Who cares? The contest is a complete and utter joke. It sucks. It's not fun. It's not entertaining. I don't even know who half of these players are, to be quite honest with you. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of the slam dunk contest. It's a complete joke. It's boring. It sucks. And the NBA needs to go back to playing great defense. I'm sick of seeing players, every single game, someone scoring 50 points. In my time, scoring 50 points was like, wow. Now it's like, oh, again, someone scored 50 points again. Oh, okay. Like, it's just like, whatever. Who cares? So, and I feel sad about it, because I love to see basketball. I love to see, but there's no rivalries no more. Everybody's joining each other. Everybody's teaming up. There's, of course, no defense. It's all offense. Um, everyone's scoring 50 points a game. Of course they are, because there's no defense. It's terrible. They've gone away from it. They're doing what baseball's trying to do, where they just want to see home runs there, because everybody wants to see home runs. I don't want to see home runs. I want to see a 2-1 game, a 1-0 game, 1-0 complete shutout where the guy throws 86 pitches like a Greg Maddux. Game lasts 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see everybody hitting home runs, just like I don't want to see everybody scoring 50 points. I don't care what Harden does. I don't care what any of them do. Just play some defense for crying out loud. You know, I mean, it's a joke. And NBA needs to get away from all this high scoring. Their ratings have dipped. The ratings have dipped during the finals, mostly because of the Warriors and Cavaliers being in the always being in it. And of course, this year we're not going to have a championship in the NBA or the NHL. Probably not in the MLB. And if they do, it's going to be a very, very short season in Major League Baseball. Probably maybe play half a season, maybe. We'll see what happens. But NBA just need to get their act together, get some defense. I mean, I just miss some good, hard nosed defense. I miss seeing the Pistons play. The bad boys, they didn't play around. And now it's like, you sneeze on somebody, it's a technical foul. You say something, you're ejected. It's just so ridiculous, that you just let them play. Just let them play. That's all you got to do. I'm not saying to clothesline each other and beat each other to a pulp, but I mean, some things you just got to let go. Just let them play. And like I said, I haven't seen an NBA game in so long. It just doesn't interest me no more. The product's bad, just like the NFL. I'm just not interested in watching any NFL games. The games are too long. They're boring. They drag on. Officiating stinks. It's watered down. That's how I feel about the NBA. I wish I could watch an NBA game. It's just does not interest me at all. I love seeing LeBron play. He's the only player I like to see play. But I really care less about the product of the NBA. And I wish they would just get away and just bring some better balance. They need to get rid of James Dolan for one thing. He's the worst owner in all of sports. I keep going back and forth who's worse, him or Daniel Snyder, because they're both hard-headed people that just don't listen. They just think because I have money, I'm smart, and just shows you that just because you're a billionaire doesn't make you the smartest man in the world. James Dolan he needs to go. They need to get rid of him, force him to sell, get an ownership that wants to win. He doesn't want to win. He care less. He's too busy banning people from Madison Square Garden like Charles Oakley and, banning fans who boo him. I mean, it's just he's a child. He needs to grow up and just not see the Knicks be relevant in New York. It's a travesty. Even though the Knicks didn't win anything during my time, they were always in the playoffs. They're always 50-win team. With Patrick Ewing, and I mean, they were always a good team. And how they're a travesty. They're a joke. They can get all the good coaches they want. Now I heard rumors they're looking at getting Tom Thibodeau from the Wolves. You can get Tom Thibodeau, you can get Red Auerbach, but James Dolan is the problem with the Knicks. He's just a complete joke. And they need to get him to sell the team. Just tell him to go away. Here, we'll just go away. We'll get somebody else. We'll get better ownership. We'll get people that want to. Maybe Michael Bloomberg could buy the Knicks. That'd be great. He's a New Yorker. Let's start a petition today. Let's get Michael Bloomberg to buy the New York Knicks and make them relevant. I'm all for that. He didn't win the presidency. He didn't win the nominee. He's worth $60 bazillion. Last I heard. Let's get Michael Bloomberg to buy the Knicks and get rid of James Dolan. Will Michael Bloomberg be a great owner? I have no idea, but can't get any worse than James Dolan. And he's a New Yorker. He was a former mayor of New York. Maybe we can get him. Maybe somebody else can be the new owner of the Knicks. I don't know, but it's just James Dolan needs to go. He's fired so many coaches. He's gotten rid of so many presidents. He had Isaiah Thomas. He got rid of their latest president. I can't even keep track who's there anymore. Fizdale's not there anymore, and I don't know who they're gonna get. Thibodeau ain't gonna solve it. It's all about the ownership. It's all about all the players he's getting. He signs all these bad players to these long contracts. He's always over the cap because he just overpays people, like Daniel Snyder, getting players that are already past their prime, trading players and then getting them back and signing them to these big deals. I mean, Chris Childs, really? I mean, it's just he has no clue what he's doing. He has no clue, and so I don't see it doing very well there. I mean, all the great coaches they get there never do good. Look at D'Antoni. He was great with the Suns. He stunk with the Knicks. Look at how great he is doing with the Rockets. You know, I love to see Fizdale go get another opportunity. Hey, you know what? Maybe he can go to the. There's another name that the Nets should be looking at. David Fizdale. Get him to be the head coach. I think Mark Jackson would be a good pick. Tyronn Lue would be a good pick. I think Fizdale would be a great choice for the Brooklyn Nets. You know, maybe the Knicks can get Addison, Kenny Addison. I thought he did a good job with the Brooklyn Nets. I never even heard of this guy and he did a good job with the Nets. He didn't have his two best players, and apparently he just got fed up with it and didn't want to coach them anymore. That's pretty sad when you got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant there, even though Durant's out for the whole season. I mean, the NBA's out pretty much out for the whole season too. He just didn't want to coach him. Just got fed up with them. Didn't want to do it. Wasn't worth it. So that's the crazy thing about this. So we got 10 minutes left in the podcast. I'm Rick Curti. I'm the founder of the Charlotte Bats, and let's bring MLB to Charlotte. Our website is www.charlottebats.com. And so we have a Monday podcast every day. I'm going to try to do this every Monday, even though it's very hard because of no sports and what's going on in our country and our world today with this virus. But I'm going to be on here plugging away. I'm here with the talented Breck Smith, here for Mancini Sports, here at the Stables Network. I'm very happy to be part of this wonderful and growing cast. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm trying to bring MLB to Charlotte. We're on the list by the commissioner, and to be continued. I think we'll get a team. We are getting a Major League Soccer team here in Charlotte starting in 2021, owned by David Tepper. He's pretty much the guy that brought it here. He's got $1 bazillion too. And hey, you know what, David Tepper? Since Jordan owns the Hornets, maybe you can buy the Knicks. You're a billionaire. Like I said, we're just trying to find some new ownership for the Knicks. So I got Michael Bloomberg. I got David Tepper as owners. Trying to think of some other bazillionaire owners. Maybe Bob Johnson can come back. He's to be the owner of at the time, the Charlotte Bobcats. He owns BET Network, Jet Magazine. He's a billionaire. Maybe he can buy the Knicks. I mean, somebody please buy the Knicks because James Dolan stinks. And I'm not a Knicks fan by any stretch of the imagination, but it's great to see the Knicks competitive. And they've been an absolute travesty for the past 20 years. They've been an absolute joke. And now the rumors Tom Thibodeau might go there. Like I said, he can bring Brett Auerbach back from the dead. It just doesn't matter. It's all about ownership. And James Dolan is the worst owner in all of sports. And yes, he's worse than Daniel Snyder. Yes, he's worse than Michael Jordan. Yes, he's worse than Mark Davis. James Dolan is a joke as an owner. So I've been trying to name some new ownership, and I got Michael Bloomberg, former mayor of New York, former presidential candidate. We need to start a petition. Michael Bloomberg, please buy the Knicks. Please have some common sense. Please, just he needs to go, James Dolan. It's just a matter of fact that when you got players who'd rather go play for the Nets in Brooklyn and not go to the Knicks in New York, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? That nobody wants to play for you because you're irrelevant and you stink. So that's my little riff for the day. James Dolan needs to go, and let's replace him with somebody. And Tom Thibodeau, don't go there. I know it's not working out with you in Minnesota, but hey, you want your career to end? Go to the Knicks. You'll be there for 2 years, and nobody's gonna care. So, hey, maybe Tom Thibodeau will go to the Nets. How's that? I got some 4 potential candidates for the Nets job. I got Mark Jackson, who I would love to see being a coach again. He really was instrumental making the Warriors what they are today. We got Ty Lue, of course, former Cavaliers head coach, won a championship. Who else do I have? I have Thibodeau, David Fizdale. He's another person I'm throwing in there as a potential coach for the Brooklyn Nets. And these are just names I'm throwing out. I have no idea if they're candidates. I think Ty Lue is. I think he's definitely up there. Mark Jackson, I'd love to see him be a coach again. I'm surprised he's not coaching anymore. I think he should be given an opportunity. Maybe like I said, I have Fizdale in there. I have no idea if they're interested in him, but why not? He did a great job with the Grizzlies. How come we forget his rants? That was one of the best press conferences I had. So he's a character, but he's a heck of a coach. And like I said, he was not given the opportunity with the Knicks, of course, because of terrible ownership. And it just seems like every time a head coach leaves the Knicks, they go somewhere else and they do great. Look at D'Antoni with the Rockets. He's showing that he's a great head coach like he was in Phoenix. So we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, nothing's going to happen until we get rid of, what we're going through right now. So I'm like many other people in self-isolation. So I miss being around people, but like I said, we'll get past this. So I'm Rick Curti, your host of the Charlotte Bats Podcast and more. We're here every single Monday. Start at 6 o'clock my time in the East Coast, and on the West Coast, 3 o'clock. And we're Charlotte Bats Podcast and more from at the Stables Network. We're here with Breck Smith, who does a great job. He's in Oakland right now. I'm in Charlotte right now, so we try to do this podcast and try to do it every Monday. We had some times where he had a miss. We've been talking about all sports all the time, and like I said, it's been difficult because things have been closed down. Nothing's up. Anything with large crowds has been shut down, of course. It's got to wait it out. So at that time, it's hard to find sports to watch right now. I have people suggesting to me what's going on ESPN. The other day, they had a cornhole contest, which I didn't know that their cornhole was a popular sport. Apparently it is. That was pretty interesting. So it's not much to choose from in sports, and I'm a sports fanatic, so I got to watch something in sports. So I've been watching a little bit of bowling, I guess, and just a lot of repeat games. They had repeat games of the XFL. Some games I missed. It's very entertaining. It's very interesting to hear suggestions. So if you have any suggestions for me out there about what kind of sports are out there, what I could watch, just email me, charlottebatsbaseball@gmail.com. It's CLT batsbaseball@gmail.com, and just say, hey, Rick, there's a great sport you can watch. I could watch some wrestling or something, or maybe I can get into some more cornhole. I did see a contest where they're throwing axes. Apparently, that's another great sport. They have an axe contest. See who can shoot the axe in the bullseye. Very, very interesting sport. Dangerous, I think, but interesting sport, by the way. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. Been just watching movies and just kind of just staying safe like everybody else. So, like I said, we'll be having our podcast, or try to have a podcast every Monday. It depends what events are changing. There might be times where I don't know what I'm going to talk about, and I might be talking about my dog. I have no idea what I will be talking about. Maybe I can talk about recipes. I think I'm going to start cooking, so I might talk about some recipes that I've picked up because, like I said, the sports is very, very limited, and I don't know if I can talk about cornhole. I don't know if I can talk about axe throwing for an hour. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Talk about anything pretty much. So that's what's been going on. Like I said, I'm Rick Curti, your host of the Charlotte Pats podcast and more. We're here every single Monday, 3 p.m. West Coast time, 6 p.m. East Coast time. Um, and so that's what's been going on. And we got 1 minute left. So I want everyone to tune into us next week. Hopefully, we'll have a show, like I said. And maybe we can talk about some other sports. So I'm Rick Curti, your host, Charlotte Bats Podcast and more. Check out our website at www.charlottebats.com. Check out the stablesnetwork.com. Check out all the talented acts we have on there. And I'll be tuning to you next Monday hopefully with the show. We can talk about other things. And if you have any suggestions what I should talk about, just shoot me an email at cltbatsbaseball@gmail.com. That's cltbatsbaseball@gmail.com. And maybe we can talk about some interesting sports, what's going on, and we'll see what happens. So I'm your host, Rick Curti. Tune in to us every single Monday. And everybody out there, be careful, be safe, wash your hands, and like I said, we will get through this. I promise you. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye.